Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to do an art journal page in my Strathmore Mixed Media art journal. And I have this like use it up page that I just have a ton of used up paint. I'm going to use some Dina Wigley Media acrylic paint in Blackberry. And I don't know why that's the only color I showed you, but probably because I suck, but you know. Blackberry, I think this is tangerine, I think, and turquoise maybe? I think I'm totally wrong about that blue. But anyways, I'm going to use my brayer and kind of mush it all together. I wanted a little more coverage to the page than what I had without actually completely covering it up. So I'm just going to roll that on with my brayer. And then I'm going to cover the whole page with gesso. And this is gesso from Bad Girls Couture. They're white gesso. And I'm going to use my palette knife to scrape it on. And I put it on fairly thick because I didn't want it to dry before I did the next step, which is going to be, I'm going to take a stencil, which I think is a Dina Wigley Media. No, maybe it's Dilutions. I think it's Dilutions. It is a brick stencil. And I'm just going to take a baby white and remove the gesso from the parts that show through the stencil. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. And because I'm pushing on the stencil and the gesso was so thick, it kind of left like a texture to the gesso that stayed on the page, which I was all right with because, I mean, it was meant to look like brick, and brick is not smooth, usually. So I'm just going to wipe away the excess with my baby wipes and dry it with my heat tool. I really dig the texture that it left. So now I have this stamp from Lost Coast Designs, and I'm going to use my Ranger Archival ink in jet black at first. And I'm going to use my stamping platform to stamp that down onto some Nina Solar White 110-pound cardstock. At first I thought that maybe I was going to use some alcohol markers to add some color to it, and then I completely changed my mind. So the archival ink wasn't giving me the brightest color that I wanted, so I'm going to use my VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and that's always super juicy. Like, I'm telling you, I've had this ink pad for like 2 years, probably longer, maybe like 4 years, and I've never had to re-ink it, like ever. And so I stamped that a couple times just to make sure I have a good impression. And then I fussy cut it and added some foam tape to the back. Then I'm going to take Tim Holtz Distress ink in Black Soot. And at first I was just going to go around the edges because my VersaFine ink wasn't completely dry, because you know I have no patience. And I started messing with it before it dried completely. Some of the ink smudged, which I didn't hate. But when I added the Distress ink just to the edges, I felt like it wasn't enough. And maybe that it was too stark on the white paper, so I grunged it up a little and added some more of that Distress ink throughout the whole cutout. I felt like it was too stark white to go up against the white bricks that were on the page. So then I'm just gonna, I already peeled off the backing to the foam tape, and I'm just gonna lay that down. And then I'm gonna take my Stabilo Marxall pencil, excuse me, and add just some shadowing underneath the wings of the image. And I'm not being careful and not, drawing super fine lines or super sharp lines. I'm just kind of going in between, going around, and then I'm going to spray that to activate it with some water and kind of let the ink of the Stabilo, the marks, drip down the page a little bit. And sometimes I like the way Stabilo dries when you let it dry naturally, but you know me. So I'm going to use my archival ink and do some background stamping. I have some mark making stamps, texture stamps, and I'm just going to go to town. I feel like it's been a while since I've done stamping in any of my pieces, any of my projects, and I miss it. Like, I walk past my stencil or my stamps in my studio every single day, and I look at them every day and think, well, why don't you get your stamps out anymore? Why don't you use them anymore? And I really am trying to use what I have instead of going out and buying something new. Use what I have. Use things in my studio that I haven't used in quite some time, and they're things that I love, whether it's stamps or images or paints or different kinds of mediums or, I don't know, wooden boxes, trinket boxes, or just, I feel like I need to start using what I have. And I feel like I say that like all the time, probably because I do, and then I never use all of my stuff. I did just get the Dina Wakley Media Gloss acrylic sprays, and that's why my nails look as janky as they do. Because I did a live stream the other night with showing the gloss sprays, and let me tell you, those sprays, because it's acrylic paint, it's almost like a spray paint, they tore my nails up. And over time it will peel off and scrape off, but yeah. So now I'm going in with Dina Wakley Media acrylic paint in Ancient, and it's kind of like a bronzy, goldish color, more bronzy. And I'm just going to spray that with some water and cover up my focal image. Excuse me. And then just add some splatters to the page just to grunge it up a little bit more. It kind of reminded me, the page kind of reminded me of a graffitied wall. And the Ancient paint was like dirt, but with a little sparkle. I blotted it up just a little bit with a paper towel and then dried it, the rest of it, with my heat tool. And so it has just a little bit of shine, but not a whole lot. Then I'm going to use my distressed crayon in Black Soot to add a frame around the page. I don't know why I can't. Oh, things are falling. Sorry. Things are falling over. I don't know why I can't go without a border or without a frame to my work. And I don't know, maybe that's just my thing. Like, maybe that's my style. I don't know. I don't really think I have a style. I'm kind of all over the place. But either way, that's what I like to do. And so I have just the baby wipe off to the side because I don't have any like gloss medium or any gel medium on the page. I just have the gesso and the paints. It wouldn't smooth out as easily, so I just dab my finger with the baby wipe, and it makes it a little more easier to smooth out and grunge it up. So this is it, the page. And I don't know what I'm going to do next. I feel like, I don't know. You guys have any suggestions? What do you want to see me make? What do you want to see me create? If it's a focal image or if it's a theme or, you know, I'd like some suggestions. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. And stay safe, everyone. Bye.